Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're going to be looking at something pretty fascinating, microclimates.
Mhm.
But not just microclimates in general. We're going to be focusing on how they can affect something as specific as growing mint cuttings.
Definitely specific.
Yeah, so our source for this is a blog post by Ang, who's an avid gardener, always experimenting with new things.
And Anne actually found this perfect microclimate for growing their mint cuttings right in their kitchen.
In the kitchen. Interesting. So I got to ask, what exactly is a microclimate? I mean, I've heard of climate zones, but this seems like it's on a whole other level.
Oh yeah, it's definitely hypolocal. Think of it like this: a microclimate is like a little pocket where the environmental conditions are different from the surrounding area. And it's amazing how much things can change even within, say, a single room.
Really?
Yeah. So like wind, sunlight, temperature, humidity, those can all be completely different in different parts of the same room.
Oh, so like my kitchen is like its own little diverse ecosystem.
Exactly, you got it. So for example, the area right by your stove, that's going to be warmer, and then the windowsill, that's probably getting blasted with direct sun. And then if you think about it, your sink area is probably the most humid spot in your kitchen.
Hmm, that makes sense. And speaking of humidity, Aang actually specifically mentioned wind as being really important in their mint growing success.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they found this little nook in their kitchen that's perfectly still, no wind at all, and their mint cuttings just totally took off.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, how often do we actually think about wind when we're, gardening inside?
Right. And it just goes to show how much of a difference something as simple as airflow or lack thereof can make when you're propagating plants. Because when the air is still, there's more humidity around the cuttings.
Right.
And that actually helps them develop roots faster.
So it's like creating a little stable environment for them to thrive.
Exactly. A stable environment equals faster root development. And that's exactly what you want with mint.
Makes sense. It really makes you think about all the little things that can affect plant growth, even inside. I mean, haven't you ever noticed how some plants seem to do great in one spot, but then you move them somewhere else and they just struggle, even if the light seems about the same?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I had this orchid once, and it was constantly dropping leaves. Just wouldn't do well no matter what I tried.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but then I moved it to the bathroom, and you know what? It absolutely loved it there.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was the humidity from the shower. It made a huge difference.
Wow. So sometimes it really is about finding that sweet spot, that perfect microclimate. But going back to Aang's mint, what was it about that still air that made it such a mint-growing haven? Like, what was their kitchen microclimate actually like?
So Anne mentioned that their windowsill can get up to like 80 degrees Fahrenheit when the sun's hitting it directly. But this particular spot in their kitchen, it stays at a pretty consistent 72 degrees, which apparently is perfect for those mint cuttings.
So like a consistent 72 degrees in a kitchen. That's impressive.
Right. And then when you add in that there's no wind to dry things out, it's like you've got this perfect little propagation station just built right in.
That's amazing. Aang's on to something here.
Hmm.
And from what I understand, they're not stopping with just mint, right?
Not at all. What's really exciting is that they're planning to try out this microclimate with other plants too.
Interesting. What kind of plants are we talking about?
Well, they mentioned wanting to see how it works for starting seedlings like tomatoes and peppers. Imagine that, finding the perfect little spot in your house for starting all sorts of delicate seedlings.
That would be a game changer. No more of those flimsy little greenhouses, just harnessing the power of your own microclimate.
Exactly. It's amazing what you can do when you really start paying attention to the environment around you.
Yeah, it really makes you look at your own house in a new way. Like, wait a minute, what little ecosystems are hiding right under my nose?
It really does. And, we always talk about like the climate, like overall climate of a region, but these microclimates are happening at such a small scale.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like they're just static either. Like, take a windowsill. It could be super hot during the day when the sun's pouring in.
Yeah.
But then at night, it gets freezing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can have some pretty drastic temperature swings in the same spot, just depending on the time of day.
Right. And then you've got humidity too. Like, some rooms are just naturally more humid than others.
Totally. Think about your bathroom after you take a hot shower.
Yeah. Speaking of, I have noticed some of my plants actually seem to love it when I do that. It's like they're getting a little spa day.
Exactly. A little humidity boost. And, we can't forget about drafts either. Like, depending on how your heating or cooling system is set up, you can have different air currents in different parts of your house.
Oh, that's true. So, like, all of that plays a role in creating these unique microclimates.
Absolutely.
It's really making me rethink indoor gardening. It's not just about light and water. There's
Yeah.
so much more to it.
It really is. It's like you're not just trying to replicate the plant's natural habitat. You're trying to figure out, okay, how do I create the perfect little niche for this plant within my house? And like we've been saying, a lot of that comes down to just paying attention and, experimenting a bit.
Well, and that's what I love about what Aang's doing. Like, they're not afraid to experiment and see what works. Who knows what other little microclimate havens they'll
I
find?
know, right. It's like maybe there's a perfect spot for starting seeds or, like you said, for growing
It's
orchids.
like unlocking a secret code or something.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. This whole time I've been battling to keep my plants happy. But what if the answer was right here in my house all along?
I know. What if we could all figure out, okay, this is the sweet spot in my house for this plant?
Yeah, that would change everything. No more of those flimsy little plastic greenhouses. You just find the right microclimate
Yeah.
and let nature do its thing.
Exactly. It's about working with nature, not against it. And sometimes that means paying attention to the smallest details, things you might not even think about normally.
Like a little pocket of still air in a busy kitchen.
Right. Who would have thought that could be the key to growing amazing mint? And to think, Aang just stumbled upon it by being observant.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And, I think the takeaway here is that you, the listener, you can do this too. Like your house, it might seem pretty ordinary, but there's probably a whole world of hidden potential in there. All you got to do is be a little curious, keep your eyes open. You never know what you might find.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like Aang made this really simple observation like, hey, my mint's doing really well in this one specific spot. But then it opens up all these other questions and ideas.
You really.
Like it just shows you that there's so much we miss, you know, just
Yeah.
going through our day-to-day lives without really paying attention to what's going on around us.
Right. Like we get so focused on like getting things done, checking things off our list, we forget to slow down and really observe.
Exactly. And, I bet if we did slow down more, if we really started paying attention to those subtle details, who knows what we'd find? I mean, maybe we'd all unlock those little secrets to growing happy plants. Or, I don't know, maybe we'd discover hidden talents we didn't even know we had.
Yeah, maybe you'd find like the perfect little spot for reading, where the light's just right and the air's perfectly still.
Exactly. Like there are all these possibilities just waiting to be discovered once we start tuning in to those subtle variations in our environment.
Absolutely.
So to wrap up today's deep dive, I think it's safe to say that microclimates are way more important and way more interesting than we probably give them credit for.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, they're literally everywhere, and they affect everything from our plants to, how comfortable we feel in a space to maybe even our creativity.
Yeah, it's like we're just starting to scratch the surface of understanding how they really work.
Right. And the cool thing is, by paying attention to those little variations, we can unlock so much potential. I mean, whether it's finding that perfect spot for a picky plant or, figuring out a new way to grow mint cuttings, there's a whole world of discovery out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of it starts right in our own homes.
Absolutely.
So basically, all we got to do is open our eyes, pay attention, and maybe try propagating some mint in our kitchens. Who knows? Maybe you'll find your own little mint growing paradise. Until next time, happy exploring, everyone.